Okay, lesson one is mean, median, and quartiles. And we're dealing with data. This whole unit's on data, analyzing data. Okay, we're going to do 3 examples that will explain these ideas to you. So number one, you're always going to have a list of data you're dealing with. You do want to write it out in order from least to greatest. Okay, this one is already in order. So might be points scored in a game, might be anything. It's some list of data, and it'll say, okay, find the mean, and also find your median, and it'll say find your quartiles. Okay, your upper quartile, which also might be called Q3, and your lower quartile, which would be Q1. Okay, so we've got these 3 things: your lower quartile, your median, and your upper quartile. We also have our mean. Mean is the sum of the data divided by the number of data points. You guys probably knew that. Okay, the sum of the data divided by the number of data points. So you just add them all up and divide by how many there are. So I've already added these up, 74. And number of data points, just count out how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 74 over 9. You can plug that in a calculator or just write it as a fraction, 8 2/9. That's the mean. Okay, the median is the middle. If we count it towards the middle, starting on the end. So I'll just count in 1, 2, 3, 4. The middle is right at 7. Okay, the quartiles, what you do is the upper quarters, really. Okay, this is the upper quarter, this is the lower quarter, so we need to divide into quarters. The median divides in half, so we got to take this upper half. So I'm not going to count the median in this case. I'm just going to say here, out of my upper half here, what's the middle? And then I'm going to look at my lower half down here, and what's the middle? Okay, so count in again. It's halfway between 9 and 16. That's a little tricky. What number is halfway between 9 and 16? Well, it comes out to 12 and a half. Okay, you could add those up and divide by 2, or just find the middle. They're 7 apart. And so I went 3.5 up from 9, but you need to find the middle between 9 and 16. Down here it's easier. Halfway between 5 and 5 is just 5. Okay, so my lower quartile, the lower quarter is at 5. The upper quartile is actually at 12.5. Okay? Example number 2, we'll make it a little bit trickier. We'll have the numbers not be in order. So I'll just quickly write down this data set that I have. Okay, and the first thing you want to do is put it in order. All right? It will make it a lot easier to calculate these things out. Take your time. It's a big key here. Okay, so I just put them in order. All right, now I could do the mean, but I'm not going to do that again. You guys know mean, I think. Let's do the median. Let's do the upper quartile. I'm just going to call that Q3. And let's do the lower quartile, Q1. Oopsie, not 1 there. Blank. Okay. So let's count to the middle. 3, 4. It's actually halfway between 3 and 4. So 3.5 is halfway between 3 and 4. The quartiles, I got to look at this half here, this upper half. Okay, I'm going to start right here and look at the middle. All right, count it in. 2. It's actually right at 5. Okay, that's my Q3. Lower quartile, I'm going to look at this lower half here, below the median. count in. The middle is right at 2. Okay, so kind of similar, except, the median came out between two numbers, and so we just split it right there in the middle to find our quartiles. Okay, and then the last thing is that will come up on your assignment is these dot plots. So say you see a dot plot that looks like this. It will have numbers listed along the bottom, and the numbers will all be in order, like a number line, basically. Each number going up by the same amount every time, and there'll be dots. And the dots tell you how many data points are at that value. So for example, say we got this. This means if I would list this data out, so list it out, we've got a 2, we've actually got 3 4s, so I'm going to say 4, 4, 4. We've got 2 5s, and I've got 4 6s, so 6, 6, 6, 6. That's the data set you were dealing with. Now I could do all the same stuff. I could find the mean, median, mode, whatever. I'm sorry, mean, median, quartiles. Let's just say, what's the mean, okay? Let's say the question was, what's the mean? Okay, so if I add those all up, you wind up getting 48. Number of data points is 10, so 48 over 10 is 4.8, or 4 4/5 if you did a fraction. All right. You could also obviously do your median and your quartiles from that. Okay, that's all you need to know for the first assignment.